Okay, just to keep track of what I'm doing to the fog lights here, I've opened them both up. That one's I just put back together, but I opened them both up, cleaned out the back here, the actual plastic housing, and then the metal housing for the light here had, as you can see, this is one little piece I just didn't really get, had a good amount of like surface rust starting, so I just kind of sanded it lightly and hit it with Pour 15. I think this will be okay. I don't think Pour 15 would just melt off this. I mean, I could be wrong, but it was just a thought I had after I did it. But it's on there now, so at least I don't have to worry about water seeping into the plastic onto the back here and getting rust, because this side was rusty, and I'm going to be taking a picture, but also this side was rusty too on the same side in the back here. Then my next step for them was to get the hinges off, and I thought I was going to have to scrap these, but I'm thinking now I can save them, because I WD-40 them up, gave them some time, put through the nut end into the vice grip here, and I just took for this the little end it was 10, and I just loosened up and it came out, so it's already out now. It should be finger loose. The outside is very rusty, but I think what I can do is if I can get this out of here, but I'm hoping I can clean these off. I could Pour 15 this. This was the default bolt that they had in there that I had to cut to get it off. But I was hoping I could take this off so it'd be safe. Pour 15 it, sand it down, Pour 15 it, save it, because it's not degrading, it's just, rusty. And then I could drill this old bolt out, find a new bolt that would fit, and either just pour patch this down, or even just bolt it, get a nice strong bolt with a good thread and get it in there. And that would really save the whole hinge. Then I was just going to tape up the ends of the wire here. And then I was going to get this back on. You can see this one over here has, which side is it on? This has a pretty good crack here. It's actually a solid crack, meaning it's not moving when I try to force it to, but it is cracked. And then on the, right near that one, on the back here, the very bottom, has a pretty significant crack. I pour patched it, you can see right there, and it's holding it in pretty good. The problem is I can't really get I didn't want to do this side on the side that was exposed. And right now it's good. I mean, it's not moving. Before it was moving just by touching it a little bit. Now it's not moving. But I was really having a lot of trouble getting any type of pour patch into that crack because it doesn't open very wide. And if I open it too wide, I might break it in half. And I don't want to break the light bezel here. So for now, I think that's okay. I might put a little bit more on just to reinforce it. But I think it's going to be okay. It's not going to be treated too roughly. Okay, so today is finally the day where I've got everything together that I should need for my fog lights. I picked these up, more like 3 weeks ago now. I opened them up. I put there was some rust on the back inner side of the inner housing for the bulb. I put some Pour 15 on there just very lightly. I don't think it'll like when these are on for long periods of time it'll burn off, but I guess we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. This one I did patch these a little bit. This one wasn't really too cracked, so I didn't put any patch on. I didn't want to put any on the outside, at least not before I painted it. I'm thinking about plasti dipping these because you can see here they're kind of going a little bit all around. They could just benefit from my paint, but first I want to hook them up and make sure they're going to turn on and work, because this is definitely something I feel like I'm really doing from scratch, because I picked these up with no harness. So after ordering a wrong one and then getting in contact with a manufacturer who assured me this would work, and they do, these do hook right up to the factory fogs here, that this should be a universal harness that should work. These are only up to 120 watts, but I could not find anywhere. I looked and looked and looked and researched. Couldn't find anywhere, not in the manual, not anywhere, that listed how many watts Jeep Wrangler TJ factory fog lights are. Nowhere. Nowhere on the internet, nowhere on Wrangler forums, not in the Jeep Wrangler manual, not in the Jeep Wrangler repair manual I couldn't find anywhere that it was listed. But I cannot see fog lights, factory fog lights, being more than my high-powered off-road lights, you know what I mean? So there's no way these could be more than 100 watts. And I shouldn't have a problem hooking them up to my battery. I know that's not the way that fog lights are meant to get hooked up, but I didn't know, I don't know how to, they didn't come with a harness, so I'd have to get a harness to actually physically wire it into the fuse box to make it work with, when your high beams are on, these are off, when your lights are on, these are on. But I said, instead of that, I'm just going to hook it up the same way I hooked up my KCs. That's the way I know how to do it. So it should work out. I've taken a look at this harness. I'm a little bit concerned that it might not be long enough, which I'm not sure. like I'm gonna have to really go into my fog wall for sure for this firewall for sure for this, because I got lucky stringing the KCs through into the dash from there. But even then, I want to move these because this is going to be more than just hooking these up, which is going to be a challenge in its own. It's also going to be a challenge because since I hooked my KCs up all that time ago, they've been hanging off my light switch like this, and occasionally they get knocked down. It's not, you know, very sturdy there. So I need a more defined place for them. I've seen a lot of people drill out holes here because there's nowhere good to put them on in the TJ dash here. But I'm thinking more over here, and I've got an idea for this. That's normally where factory fog lights would be. But like I said, this never had factory fog lights to begin with, so I don't have any wiring, and I don't know how to wire that all, and I wasn't going to go cutting into anything, and I wasn't going to take it to go get wired, because this will work just as well. I don't see any reason this wouldn't work. So I'm going to probably need to be actually really getting into my dash, but I've looked at how to take it apart. And I've already been in there a little bit before, so it shouldn't be a problem. Getting through my firewall is actually going to be the trickier part of doing this. So this is another, but I feel like, you know, I hooked up these KCs, that went over well. I feel like if I did that, I can pull this off, you know what I mean? And about making that switch, that's what this is for. And you might be looking at this and being like, what are you going to do with this? This is going to be a switchboard. And it doesn't look great, but if you can just follow me here, and this is an idea I had instead, because I was looking up switchboards and there's no good switchboards for TJs. Like the only ones I could find were like they replace like the vents here and the switches go here. It's kind of weird, and I didn't want it up there. So what I'm thinking is make use of this existing screw. I might need to get a longer screw. Cut this to fit, and I can mount my KCs up here. I can string them through the hole here, make it bigger. And the other harness I have is actually just like a stick-on, which is actually a lot nicer. I prefer that method. And I could just stick it on there and cut this off and have this sitting right here. You know, paint it black or whatever I need to do with it, of course. But I think this is a good idea. I think once in a while I have a good idea. Whether or not it plays out and works, that's the difference between, I guess, a real good idea and a good idea that didn't work out. So we'll have to see on that. But these brackets, these were a little bit of a pain, but they ended up okay. That one came out all right. I pour 15 them because the metal was actually really good. It was just rusting on the outside, and then plasti dipped them because I don't particularly care how they look that much as long as they're not going to rust out. I got some bolts here that I'm hoping are going to work out. I haven't actually really tested these out to make sure they're going to go on the bottom tabs down here. That's where they're going to be sitting. They're going to be sitting down here, wherever you kind of expect fog lights to think. You wouldn't put like fog lights up on your hinges or something. But I think it's going to work out really, really well if it, all comes together, what I'm picturing here. That these are going to fit on here nice, snug, and tight. I took these that thread through the top there so they can hook on. I painted those. Actually, I pour 15 them. And even if they fade, I don't really care. And then see, we got the harness here. We got the switch. See, it's like I said, it's a stick-on, so I can just stick it onto that right there. And then the KC one. I would love to use this. I might have to like cut this or something because there's no way there's nowhere to like hook that up like that. So maybe I can like cut this to make it even to lay flush here, and then drill that bigger so the wires can come through from the back, and then it will look actually really clean. And then like put if I can straighten this here, like it would kind of look something like this, and I cut off the bottom. That could work, huh? Right? And that's what I was thinking. Someone's probably like, nah, it's never gonna work, but it's worth a shot. I mean, what have I really got to lose? You know what I mean? This is like a cover for an outlet, or like you have a light switch or something. This was 99 cents. I don't have a lot to lose in that regard. Now, as for this harness, the one thing I'll say about this harness, the manufacturer is really good because they got into contact with me, and this did work out. This should be exactly what I need. But this did not come with any instructions, so they do expect you to have some knowledge, and I have minimal knowledge. So this is, I'm going to be going a lot off my KCs, and if I need to, stop and go look up a guide, then I will. But this should be the fuse box. This should be the relay, and it's weird because this is like plastic. So can electricity conduct it? Because I thought this was the ground for the whole relay. Yeah, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like it's a learning process for me, and then I have like multiple plugins here, and I only need the one. So if this works out, then I'll just tape off the rest with electrical tape so no water gets in there. And that's the other concern I have with this. See, this is kind of sort of loose in there. I'm not sure, like some of the metal plastic on the inside came out, so I may need to, after I hook these up, I need to take them off and then put this glue something in behind it so it holds better. But that's a little thing. I just don't want more water getting into those. And then these, I assume, are things that need to be hooked up to, like, we got red and we got black, and I thought black was always negative and black was always ground. So I don't know if I need to ground this or if I need to put this on the negative terminal on my battery. That's one of the questions I'm having. If I really run into trouble, I'll look it up or call a buddy of mine. Luckily, I know a couple people who actually know what they're doing when it comes to this stuff. Not me, though. But yeah, I'm going to get this all out. I'm going to throw open my hood. I'm going to put these on the hinges, see if they're going to get on snug and tight. And yeah, I am going to get ready to hook up some fog lights.